through. Where are you going? Hollered Rune, in his rough, affable voice. Out. But aren't you gonna? Began Galena. Hello, Beebs. Welcome. Thank you for joining. How are you doing? Thank you. I'm gonna check out the restream. There we go. Hello, Twitch chat. Okay. How are you doing, Beebs? Glad to see you. Someone shushed her, most likely Venus. Viv felt a prick of shame. She liked Galena the most and probably should have taken the time to explain. But she was done. Why drag things out? She didn't really want to talk about it, and if she said anything more, she might change her mind. After 22 years of adventuring, Viv had reached her limit of blood and mud and bullshit. A Norg's life was strength and violence, and a sudden sharp end. But she'd be damned if she'd let hers finish that way. It was time for something new. That's the end of the prologue. By the way, I'm currently reading Legends and Lattes, which is a novel of high fantasy and low stakes, apparently. And it's written by Travis Baldry. I'm going in blind. I like going in blind into stories. So there we go. I'm glad to hear that you're doing great, by the way, Beebs. It's important to get comfy before bed. That's how you get good sleep. Chapter 1. Viv stood in the morning chill, looking down into the broad valley below. The city of Thune bristled up from a bed of fog that hazed the banks of the river, bisecting it. Here and there, a copper-clad steeple flashed in the sun. She had broken camp in the pre-dawn dark, and her long legs had eaten up the final few miles. Black blood weighted heavy on her back, the scalded stone tucked in one of her inner jacket pockets. She could feel it like a hard, withered apple, and reflexively touched it through the cloth from time to time to reassure herself it was still there. Me with my phone be like. A leather satchel hung over one shoulder, stuffed mostly with notes and plans, a few chunks of hardtack, a purse of platinum chips and assorted precious stones, and one small, curious device. She followed the road down and into the valley as the fog burned away, and a lonely farmer's cart tottered by, stuffed with alfalfa. Oh god, that was hard to read. Alfalfa. Viv felt a rising sense of nervous elation, something she hadn't felt in years, like a battle cry she could barely hold in. She never prepared as much for any one moment. She'd read and question, researched and wrestled, and Thune had been the city she'd chosen. When she'd crossed every other location of her list, she'd been absolutely positive. Suddenly, that conviction seemed foolish and impulsive, yet her excitement remained undimmed. No outer walls surrounded Thune. It had sprawled far beyond its original, fortified boundaries, but she sensed herself approaching the edge of something. It had been ages since she stayed in one place more than a handful of nights, the duration of a job. Now, she was going to put down roots in a city she'd visited maybe 3 times in her entire life. She stopped and looked around wearily, as though the road wasn't entirely vacant, the farmer long gone into the mist. Withdrawing a scrap of parchment from her satchel, she read the words she'd copied. Well nigh to thumb a decline, the scalded stone of fire, draws the ring of fortune, aspect of heart's desire. Viv tucked it carefully away again, exchanging it for the device she'd purchased a week before from a Thomas scholar in Arvine, a witching rod. Starflesh, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good today. The small wooden spindle was wrapped in copper thread, which covered the runes inscribed along its length. A wishbone of ash was fitted over the top and into a groove so it spun freely. She held it in her fist, feeling the copper thread absorb the warmth of her palm. The spindle gave a barely perceptible tug. At least she was fairly certain it was a tug. During the Thomists demonstration, there had been a stronger pull. Viv pushed down the sudden thought that it had all been a parlor trick. As a rule, folks with a fixed address avoided swindling an orc twice their height who could snap a wrist if they shook hands too firmly. Tundra, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good. She took a deep breath and strode into Thune with the witching rod before her. Thune's wakeful noises rose as she moved further into the city. At the outskirts, the buildings had been mostly wooden, with some riverstone foundation interspersed. The deeper she ventured, the more stone prevailed, as though the city had calcified as it aged. Muddy dirt gave way to a smattering of stone lanes, then cobbles near the city's core. Temples and taverns huddled around squares featuring statues of people who probably used to be important. Any doubts about the witching rod had evaporated. It definitely pulled now, like a living thing, brief twitches growing into insistent tugs. Her research hadn't been in vain. Ley lines were clearly threaded beneath the seedy, powerful avenues of thaumic energy. Scholars debated whether they grew where people settled or gathered folks near like warmth in winter. What mattered to Viv was they were here. Hello, Trax. Welcome. Thank you for liking the stream. How are you doing? Drinking water. I need to train a little bit more in reading out loud. I'm good. Thank you so much for asking. Been a calm day. What do you think of the event? I'm still not really determined to win. I guess it's gonna be fun for the people that participate. Seriously, in my case, yeah, there's an event on the 21st, I believe, which is the Niori event, Niori Cup, where you can basically win free art. So far, only one wants to win, and two are fine with winning. It's not that I'm against the fact that I like the winning part. It's more like I think it should go to someone that actually wants it. Mostly that. Like, I'm not against winning, but I don't really want to win. And like I said, I wouldn't feel good about people spending hundreds of dollars for me to win as well. That's why I'm like, yeah, if someone wants to have it, I hope they have it. Frogs! I heard frogs. Sorry. But yes, it's Niori is the mama of Muna from Hololive. So that's what's going on. Finding a potent ley line was only the start, of course. The low wishbone of Ashwood twitched left and right, tugging one way for a time before reversing and pulling like a fish on a hook in another direction. After a while, she didn't have to look at it. The feel of it was enough, and Viv paid more attention to the buildings she passed. The device ushered her down the major thoroughfares, through the squiggling alleys that stitched them together, past blacksmith and hostels and markets and inns. There were a few people her height on the streets, and she never found herself crowded. Black blood tended to have that effect. She passed through all the layers of smell that made up a city, baking breads and waking horses and whetstone and hot metal and floral perfume and old shit. The same smells you found in any city, but underneath them, the morning scent of the river. Sometimes, between the buildings, she could see the blades of the water wheel at the flour mill. Viv let the rod lead her where it wanted. A few times the tug was so strong she stopped and inspected the buildings nearby, but disappointed, she'd continue onward. The rod would resist for a while until it seemed to give up, finding a new direction in which to search. Hello, Red. I was checking Twitch chat because I'm reading like the book in another. Okay, there we go. I pulled the tab so I can see chat. How are you doing, Red? Glad to see you. At last, when it yanked hard, she came to a semi-dazed stop and found what she needed. I'm glad to hear that you're good, Red. Glad to hear that. How was your day? Not on the high street. That would have been too much to hope for. But it was only one removed. Kerosene strip lamps dotted the length, extinguished now, extinguished now, and like as not, you wouldn't be knifed there after dark. The buildings on Redstone showed their age, but the roofs seemed in good repair. All except one in particular, and here the witching rod drew her closer. It was small for what it was. A battered sign hung from the single remaining iron eye hook. Parkin's livery. The paint of the embossed letters long since flaked away. There were two large, iron-bound wooden doors, but they were ajar, and the crossbeam was leaning against the wall nearby. Another smaller, orc-sized door was amusingly padlocked to the left of it. Was alright, you doing okay? Yes, I'm doing okay. Thank you so much for asking. Just a little bit of a croaky voice for X or Y reason. I don't really understand. But I'll be drinking water, so I don't have that issue. I'm currently reading Legends and Lattes, and I really like the cover art. No more Animal Crossing noises. I still can do them. I still can do them. It's just I'm like speaking more softly. Um, so my voice gets a little bit croaky. I'm a frog. I'm a frog. Sorry. Viv ducked her head in for a look. Light filtered from a hole in the roof above, and a handful of clay shingles laid shattered across the broad alleyway leading between six horse stalls. A ladder of dubious sturdiness led to a loft, and to the left a small office with a back room. I kiss the frog and she'll turn into a gorgeous princess. I wish I was a princess, but no, that's Inaria. That's the princess. She's the princess. Unladylike, but still a princess. You're my princess. Thank you, Feisty. I really appreciate it. You're so sweet. The sour smell of moldering hay came from the froth at the back. Dust swirled in beams of light as though it never settled. It was as perfect as she could hope for. She tucked the witching rod away. When she re-emerged into the growing traffic of the street, she spied a knobby old woman sweeping the stoop across the way. Viv was pretty sure she'd been sweeping since her arrival, the threshold no doubt sparkling at this point. But she continued to attack it with determination, shooting Viv a surreptitious look every other second. Viv strode across the street. The old woman had the good grace to appear surprised, mustering something approaching a smile as she did. "Do you know who owns this place?" asked Viv, pointing back at the livery. The woman was less than half her height and had to crane to make eye contact. Her eyes disappeared as she compressed her face into a considering tangle of wrinkles. "The livery?" "Yup." "Well..." She dragged the words out thoughtfully, but Viv could tell there was nothing wrong with her memory. "That's old Ansem, if I recall it properly. Never had much of a head for business, that man. Not for trade nor husbands. Work neither. To hear his old lady tell it." Viv didn't miss the woman's suggesting pump of the eyebrows. "Not Parkin?" "Nope, 'twas too cheap to change the signs when he bought it." Viv's smile was amused, her lower fangs prominent. "Any idea where I can find him?" "Couldn't say for certain, but I imagine intending to the only work he never failed at." She tipped her free hand, bringing an imaginary tankard to her lips. "If you really want to find him, I'd try the places of Rawbone Alley. Head about 6 over. Whoa. She gestured to the south. At this time of morning? Oh, this business is serious about. Thanks, miss, said Viv. Yeah, I was a bit too far from the from my own camera. Give me a sec. There you go. Thank you, Red. Oh, miss, is it? Cackled the woman. You can call me Lainey. You planning to be my new neighbor? She made a give it over motion. Viv. Viv, said Lainey, nodding. I guess we'll see. Depends on whether he's as bad as a businessman as you say. The old woman was still laughing as Viv left for her rob on alley. Hey Visual! Hope you're doing good today. I'm currently reading Legends and Lattes, a novel of high fantasy and low stakes. I'm clearing my throat. My voice is a little bit it's cracking a little bit today. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I spoke plenty already. I shouldn't be having a croaky voice. Although the birds are getting louder, so maybe I should like close the window. Give me a second. There we go. High fantasies and low stakes sounds like your typical isekai. It's not an isekai though. Birds this late at night. Oh, tracks, you forgot. I'm in France. Whoa. I'm in France. So it's clearly different. Yes. Sorry about that. My phone slipped. It went freestyle. Birds that early in the morning? Yes, it's like 6:28 a.m. So it's already daytime. My clumsy moment. After so many streams, I finally dropped my phone. But it's okay. I bought a stand. It's gonna come on Thursday. I have less issues with my phone slipping away. Give me a second. I'm gonna clear my throat properly. There we go. I think that's better. Did I already say the 79 joke? I think that I did on a different stream. No, you haven't made that joke to me yet. Oh no, I'm having hiccups now. I'm cursed. I'm cursed. Bafki, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good. 79. Oh, I know. When I pronounced it, I know. Is it a these nuts jokes? Is it a these? Yeah, that's what I thought. 79. It's like 1919. It works too. No matter what Lainey said, Viv didn't really expect to find him much maligned Ansem at this time of day. She figured she'd asked after him in any swill joint with an open door, and once she knew his haunts, track him down after the day wore on. Avenya, welcome. Thank you for joining. Turned out she only needed 3 stops before she found him in residence. The tavern keep looked her up and down after she asked, raising his eyebrows pointedly at Black Blood's hilt over her shoulder. No trouble from me, just business, she said evenly. She tried to look less imposing. Viv's an orc, by the way. AniLive, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good. Apparently satisfied that she wasn't spoiling for a fight, he cocked a thumb at the corner and went back to swabbing the grime of the bar top into new and more interesting locations. As Viv approached the table, she got the overwhelming impression that she was entering the den of some elderly woodland beast. A badger, perhaps. Not a dangerous sense, but the feeling of a place where he spent so much time that it had absorbed his smell and become essentially his. He even looked like a badger, a big, greasy black bird striped with white tangled across his chest. That's pretty cool. As wide as he was tall, he occupied so much space between the wall and table that when he inhaled deeply, the thing rocked up on its legs. That's funny. You handsome? Asked Viv. Handsome allowed that he was. Mind if I sit? She asked and then sat anyway, leaning black blood against the back of the chair. Truth be told, she wasn't really accustomed to asking permission. Handsome stared at her over puffy lower lids. Not hostile, but wary. A tankard sat before him, nearly empty. Viv caught the tavern skipped attention and gestured at it, and Ansem brightened considerably. Much obliged, he muttered. And some, with an O. But yes, not from Kingdom Hearts. I think he's a human. A big human, but a human. Also, I think I played Kingdom Hearts, but not enough to get the Ansem. I don't have the Ansem face popping in my mind right now. I heard I heard you own the old livery on Redstone. That true? Asked Viv. Ansem allowed that he did. I'm looking to buy, she said, and have a feeling you might be looking to sell. Ansem seemed surprised, but only briefly. His gaze sharpened, and while he might not have had a head for business, Viv was pretty sure he had one for haggling. Maybe, he rumbled, but that's some prime real estate. Prime. I've had offers before, but most of them don't see past the place to really appreciate the value of the location. That is to say, they underbid. Free real estate. Mm-mm. At this point, the tavern keep swapped his tankard for a fresh one, and Ansem visibly warmed to his subject. Oh yes, so many embarrassing offers. I have to warn you, I know what that lot is worth, and I can't see myself selling to anyone but a serious businessman. Businesswoman, he amended. Viv flashed her toothy and amused grin, thinking of Lainey. Well, Ansem, there's all kinds of business. Very conscious of black blood leaning behind her, she thought of how easy her old business, would have made this negotiation. But I can say for sure that when I do business of any kind, I'm always serious. Germs, welcome back. How are you doing? Glad to see you here. Stay hydrated, guys. And Pumpkin Milk, welcome. Thank you for joining as well. Hope you're doing good. She reached for her satchel, removing the purse of platinum chits, and hefted it. Withdrawing just one, she held it between thumb and forefinger, inspecting it and letting it catch the light. Platinum was a currency hardly ever seen in a place like this, and she needed to exchange it for lower denomination soon, but she'd wanted some on hand just for this sort of moment. Ansem's eyes widened. Oh, serious. Yes, serious indeed. He took a long pull of his beer to cover his surprise. Then out of nowhere, 100 megaton of tungsten steels comes out of nowhere and crushed him. Germs, they're just like showing off money, you know. It's like high fantasy, so gold, silver, copper, and apparently platinum, which must be crazy expensive. Not gonna lie, I wish I was that rich. I would do so many things if I was rich. Interesting, sounds too rich for me. I'm broke. I'm not broke, but I'm not well off either. But if I had like infinite money, I would do so much. I would like to help people. Like I would like to help people with it. Like I had this project of buying a whole building and basically lodge homeless people in it, and have shops on the first floor, on the ground floor, so they could work there. Now I'm becoming Jeff Jeff Bezos, but worse. Jeffrey, Jeffrey Bezos. Sly dog, thought Viv, trying not to smirk. As one serious business person to another, I don't want to waste your time. Viv leaned on an elbow and slid 8 platinum chits across the table. That's probably 8 gold sovereigns. I think that covers the value of the lot. I'm sure we can agree that building is a loss, that the building is a loss, and I think the odds of another businesswoman tracking you down to pay cash on the barrelhead is vanishing. You be welcome. Thank you for joining. She held his gaze. He still had the tankard to his mouth, but wasn't swallowing. Viv began to withdraw the chits, and he hurriedly reached out, pulling up short before touching her much larger hand. She raised her eyebrows. I can see you've got a keen eye for value, and some blinked rapidly. I do. If you want to take a moment this morning to bring the deed and sign it over, I'll wait here. But I won't wait longer than noon. Turned out the old badger was a lot nimbler than he looked. I want a badger friend. Lily, welcome. I'm tempted to drink 12 cans of Red Bull. You're going to have a heart attack if you do that, Terms. I'd recommend not doing it. Please take care of your health. Please take care of your health. Let me check something. I just got a DM from conspiracy theorist Soma. Not my husband, by the way. He keeps saying I'm his wife, but I'm not. This rascal. Nah, become one with the caffeine. Drink coffee. Drink coffee. How can you drink one? They taste terrible. Yeah, they smell very chemical. Germs like time to see God. Yeah, it seems so. Germs seems to want to see God right now. Just chug it. Ew. Even though I don't know how you do it. Now I'm trying to be in my one isekai anime, said Germs. In which type of universe would you like to be isekai'd? As Viv made her mark on the deed and pocketed the keys, Ansem scooped up the platinum into his purse, looking relieved the deal was complete. So, I didn't figure you to be interested in livery work, he ventured. It wasn't common knowledge that horses didn't like orcs much. I'm not. I'm opening a coffee shop. W. That time I chugged a 12-pack of Red Bull, and now I'm a demon lord in another one. You want to be a demon lord, and noted. And some looked nonplussed. But why would you buy a horse stable for that? Viv didn't answer for a moment, but then she stared hard at him. Things don't have to stay as what they started out as. She folded the deed and tucked it into her satchel. As she left, Ansem hollered at her. Oh, and hey, what in the 8 hells is coffee? Oh, they don't know coffee. They don't know coffee. Now I want to be a monster girl world. In a monster girl world, don't ask questions. You want your own harem, Terms? It's okay. Yes. Straight up. Yes. I want my own harem. I almost said I feel you. Oh shoot. I oh god, I'm so sorry. I I did not want to say that. I did not want to say that. Oh. Valid, to be honest. I guess. I thought I was here to hear bedtime stories. Yes, 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 you are. You are. You are. It's just that as a reflex, I almost said I feel you. to James wanting a harem. Um, no, I don't think personally. I don't think I could love it. Everyone equally, as in partners. That is. I think that's hard because like you're bound to have preferences. You're bound to have people that you vibe with more than others. Viv had 3 more stops to make before returning to delivery. Sorry, I had to mute for a second. The requirements to join mine is to love me. Optional. Why would that be optional? Why would that be optional? It's better if you're loved by the people in your harem, man. Gotta love monster girls, but I can only stick to one person. I feel you on that, 1TT7. I'm freaky like that. Okay, Tunes, okay. The exchange at the trade depot put some copper, silver, and gold in her purse. And then she was off to the Athenaeum at the small Thummic University on the north bank of the river. She'd wanted to know the location anyway, in case she needed to do any reading. Bro, this story right now so far is making me crave a high fantasy roleplay where the main characters have a coffee shop and they meet people there. Oh my god. Oh my I'm gonna text one of my roleplay partners for this. I need my 6 feet big mummy goth Dulahan to carry me and hold me. I think Lulu is 6 feet. I think you can ask Lulu to cosplay as a goth so she can carry you and hold you. You could try. More importantly, the territorial post ran between the scattered Athenaeums and libraries in most major cities, and it was dependable. Those copper-clad steeples she'd seen made it easy to locate. Take your time, Drews. Hello, Sam. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Um, um, who are we talking about? Seated at one of the big tables between the shelves, she wrote 2 letters, using a few sheets of her parchment. The smell of paper and dust and time put her in mind of all the recent readings she'd done in places just like this. No, I will not say it. No, I will not say it. I want to survive, Sam. I don't want to be euthanized. I suspect myself to be autistic. No, I will not sell myself. I will not steep so low for money. I am no whore. Thank you for liking the stream, by the way. And thank you for the hi. You didn't have to. Oh, I can't believe I said that. A lifetime of training her muscles and her reflexes and her hardness of mind traded for reading and planning and amassing details. She smiled ruefully as she wrote. The gnome at the post counter couldn't stop goggling at her as she stamped the wax seal. The woman had to take the addresses twice. She was so flustered at seeing an orc in the building. Testing autistic autism. I mean, why would that be censored? I don't know what you mean, bro. I'm quite the whore myself. Oh yeah, really? You would would you be like, would you take money to do the thing with someone, Germs? I turned the automat off because of Leo Bell. Oh, How come, Beebs? Fox Gamers, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good. Shit, I'll do it for free. then you cannot be qualified as whore terms. You're not a sex worker. Liuba wanted to call someone names. Oh, that's super nice of you, Beans. I can't believe you let him do that. I'm looking for a locksmith. Know of anyone reputable? The gnome's mouth hung open a moment longer, but she recovered herself and flipped through a directory behind the counter. Markev and Sons, she replied. 827 Mason's Lane. She gave some sketchy directions. Viv thanked her and then left. Markev and Sons was there, as advertised. A silver and 3 coppers later, she left with an enormous and quite heavy strongbox under one muscular arm. Gotta hook up Brotherhub. You were right to do so. I appreciate you for that, Beads. Damn, I'm just generous. Yes, you are, Germs. Yes, you are. I guess that's generosity. Back at Parking's livery, as the sun set, Viv unlocked the office door, rebarred the stable doors, and hauled the strongbox behind an L-shaped counter in the office. She stowed the deed and her funds inside, locked it, and strung the key around her neck. After some testing with her feet and fingertips, she found a loose flagstone in the main pathway between the stalls and, flexing mightily, levered it up and out. She's so strong. Can I call Viv mommy? That's my real question. Germs is idol material. I love this. I love this chat. I love you, chat. You send me. Kyra, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good today. She scooped earth from beneath and then carefully placed the Sculver stone in the hollow. Covering it with the dirt, she replaced the flagstone and took a stiff and shading stable broom, I cannot speak, to the area to ensure it looked undisturbed. She stared down at it for a few moments, all her hopes centered on this small stone, buried like a secret heart in Parkin's livery. No, not a livery anymore. This place was Viv's. She looked around. Her place. Not a temporary stop or a spot to sling her bedroll for one night. Hers. The brisk evening air swirled through the hole in the roof, so for tonight at least, it would probably feel like any other night under the stars. Viv glanced up at the loft and the ladder leading to it. She tested one of the lower rungs with a foot, and it chattered like balsa. She snorted, unstrapped black blood, and with both hands tossed it into the loft, startling a bunch of pigeons that escaped through the roof. Gazing after it for a moment, she then unfurled her bedroll in one of the stalls. There'd certainly be no campfire, and there were no lanterns to speak of, but that was all right. Rah, my bad, I wasn't dermoming. Really said, rah.
It's okay. You can do better.
More enthusiasm in chat. Show me how American you are. Rah, thank you. What the fuck is a kilometer? In the dimming light, she surveyed the interior, amidst horse apples of antiquity and the dust of neglect. She didn't know much about buildings, but it was clear that this one needed an unbelievable amount of work. But at the end of it, something she built up rather than cut down. Burger, guns, and eagle. Red. I guess that's well summarized. You're missing the flag though. It was ridiculous, of course. A coffee shop in a city where nobody even knew what coffee was? Until 6 months ago, she'd never heard of it. never smelled or tasted it. On the face of it, the whole endeavor was ludicrous. She smiled in the dark. When at least she lay back on her bedroll, she started to list her tasks for the following day, but didn't make it past the third. She slept like the dead. Rock, flag, and eagle! Sorry about that. I keep coughing for some reason. Chapter 2. Wait, what is that emoji? Is that a barrel? Viv woke in the pre-dawn indigo to the growing murmur of the city outside. The pigeons cooed in the loft where they'd returned to their nests. She rose and checked on the flagstone above the sculvered stone. Undisturbed, of course. Gathering a few things, she slipped into the street, chewing the last of her hardtack and inhaling the moist morning scent of shadows giving way to sun. She felt limber and coiled, like she was up on her toes, ready to break into a sprint. I love that feeling. That feeling right here, I love. Faye, it's oil. I mean, it's a barrel of oil. It's not the first thing it's not the first thing I think of. Okay, I just see the barrel, not the contents of the barrel. Not my fault. Across the street, Eleni had swapped her broom for a bowl of peas, and sat on a three-legged stool, shelling them. They traded amiable nods, and then Viv locked up and left in the direction of the river. She found herself humming as she walked. That's why you aren't American. Exactly. Exactly. It's a barrel of oil! But yes, that's exactly why I'm not American. I see the barrel, but I do not see the oil inside the barrel. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine because I can learn about you guys. Can learn about your culture. And you can learn about mine. There we go. I'm gonna mute for a second. I should be a Oshi VTuber with pure American freedom forever. The land of freedom. All right. Ahem, ahem. One day we will get Faye to a gun. um, I did some. I guess I tried to aim with guns. I know how to aim with guns. I never like had the actual recoils because I played around with airsoft guns. So I think that would be fun. I think that would be a little bit scary too. Models are expensive. Start with the start with the PNG tuber dreams. I have a hand cannon. A hand cannon or a head cannon. Oh, I gotta clear my throat again. Give me a second. That's very annoying. There we go. Depends on my mood. Okay. Okay, James. I'm guessing the head cannon is when you're hangry. Angry. Oh my god. Hangry, hungry, angry. There we go. I'm sorry. In the receding morning fog, Viv made her way to the shipyards, clinging to the bank of the river. The place was alive with the clatter of hammer and saw, shouts muffled by the mist. What she wanted was fixed in her mind, but she didn't expect to find it right away. She could be patient, though. In her experience, you had to be. After long hours spent reconnoitering or staking out a beast lair, Viv had made peace with the passage of time. Hungry. Hungry, angry, and hangry when you're hungry and angry at the same time. She bought some apples from a ratkin, urkin, hawkin, Whoa. Rack and Arkin, hawking them from his burlap sack, found a stack of crates out of the way and settled in to observe. The boats here weren't large, mostly keelboats and little fishing boats best suited to the river. A dozen or so were up on the long quay, attended by small knots of shipwrights, being scraped or tarred or repaired. I could probably give out some devastating head. I have one little horny lad in my chat, guys. Does anyone want him? He's a tribute now. Jerome is a tribute now. Germs is my offering to you guys. I work for shelter. Noted. Anybody want to give some housing to Germs? She watched them as they worked, keeping an eye out for what she wanted. The cruise ebbed and swelled as the morning progressed. Hard pass. Wow, okay, Red. Guess Germs is not for you. You're also horny because you have a horn, so it's different kind. Yes, I am a different kind of horny, that's for sure. The horn says it all. Viv was on her last apple when she found what she'd been looking for. Most of the crew worked in two or threes. Big men with big voices, scrambling over the halls and hollering to one another as they did. A few hours on, though, a man of smaller stature appeared, hauling a wooden box of tools half as large as himself. His ears were long, body wiry, skin leathery and olive, with a flat cap pulled low over his brows. So Germs is not only idle material but also made material. Damn right I am. Um, should we buy you a maid dress, Germs? I can buy myself one too. We can be maids together. I haven't did so for midday, but next year I'm definitely getting artwork for midday. Midday. You didn't see hobs often in cities. Humans disparagingly called them pucks and shunned them, so they liked to keep to themselves. Viv could relate, but she was more difficult to intimidate. He labored alone at a small dinghy, while shipwrights and dock workers alike avoided him. She watched his diligence fastidious work. I cannot speak. Help, help, help. Viv was no woodworker, but she could appreciate craft. His tools were meticulously organized, sharp and well cared for. There were a deliberate economy to his every emotion as he used drawing knives and plane and other things she didn't recognize to shape a new gun wheel. She polished off her apple and watched him at his work, trying not to be too conspicuous about it. Lurking was a well-used part of her skill set, after all. I love lurking too. Fame's maid service. Putty, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good. Um, I need to learn that one sentence. Okairi nasai Goshijin-sama. I guess it's that. It was noon when he tidily replaced his stool and unwrapped a lunch from his toolbox, and Viv approached. He squinted up at her from under his cap, but said nothing as she looked over him. "It's nice work," said Viv. At least I expect it is. I don't know much about boats," she admitted. "I expect that dulls the compliment a touch then," he replied, his voice dry and deeper than she'd expected. She laughed, then looked up and down the quay. "Not many here that do the work alone." "Nope. You get a lot of work?" He shrugged. "Enough." "Enough so you wouldn't like to have a lot more?" He removed his cap then, and his look was more speculative. "For someone who don't know how much about boats, Don't know much about boats. Seems odd you're expecting to need much shipwriting. Viv dropped to her haunches, tired of towering over him. Well, you're right, I don't. But wood's wood, and craft's craft. I watch your work. Live it long enough, you realize some folks can be handed a problem and some tools and they'll sort it out. And I never think twice about hiring that sort of fellow. Although, she reflected, the tools and fellows had been historically a lot larger and a lot bloodier. Faye needs to read some Sonic XMLB fanfics on Wattpad. No, why would I do that? Should I really say that name out loud? Thank you for joining, fucking dildo. How are you doing? I'm doing great. I'm glad to hear that. Ramen noodles, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good today. I'm tying my hair. Give me a second. Cappy, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good. Thank you for liking the stream. What flavor of ramen noodles? That's a good question. I should start screen rag these moments. No, please. Please. Hey, I've been busy. Can you finally chill now, Cappy? How's the stream been so far? So far, good. We're currently reading still. I'm trying to relax the audience, relax the viewers. They need to be relaxed. Smooth brain, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good. I like chicken ramen. That's good. That's good ramen. I like the flavor. Poets community has started a poet to church, and I helped. Yeah, I saw the art. I saw the art. I wore a choker because I like the feeling of being choked by a person who's more. James, what are you saying? I made more than half the commitments. Oh, shoot. Hi, Puffy Waifus. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. Can't relate, but I'll donate to that. I'm saying the truth, Faye. And fun facts, you like chokers. I like chokers too, but I like the aesthetic of it. Thank you for the big heart. Thank you so much, Thank you so much, 1TT7. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's super nice of you. Thank you. How do I get $20 for my aunt? No glue, no borax. I don't get this one. Anyways, so I decided to leave you. Plan on taking over the company. What company? What company? Joining in a bit late. Still reading stories? Yes, Puffy Waifus. I'm currently reading a novel, which is called Legends and Lattes. And we're following the story of Viv, an orc that wants to open a coffee shop in a city. She's never settled on before. She used to kill beasts, and she has like a great sword that's named Black Blood. And now she's like settling down and trying to build her coffee shop. I don't want to help you take over a company. I found a new purpose. What's the company about? And don't worry about joining it in a bit late, Puffy Waifus. I still appreciate you coming by. That's what matters to me. Okay. Viv dropped to her haunches, tired of towering over him. Well, you're right. I don't, but woods and crafts. I watched your work, live long enough, you realize some folk can be handed a problem and some tools and they'll sort it out. And I never think twice about hiring that sort of fellow. Although, she reflected, the tools and fellows had been historically a lot larger and a lot bloodier. He said again. I'm Viv. She held out a hand. Calamity. His own callous paw was swallowed by hers. Her eyes widened. Hobname, he said. You can call me Call. Whichever you like best. I don't need your name to suit me. Cal's fine. The other's too much a mouthful. He folded the linen back over his lunch, and she now felt that she had his full attention. So, this work, that a here and now sort of prospect, or He flapped his hand at some vaporous future. Here and now, well paid, and with the supplies you ask for, not the ones I choose for you. She withdrew her purse, opened it, removed a gold sovereign, and extended it to him. Bye, Cappy. Thank you for coming by. Cal held out his hand as though to catch a toss, but she deliberately placed it in one palm. He pursed his lip and bounced it in his hand. So, why me exactly? He made to hand the coin back to her, but she declined. Like I said, I watch you work. Sharp tools, you clean as you go. Your mind's on your business. She looked around at the conspicuous absence of men nearby. And you do it even when some might say it's wiser not to. Hmm, so you want me for my lack of wisdom, eh? It ain't boats you want built. But what exactly you've got in mind? I think I have to show you. Bye bye. Bye bye fucking dildo. Thank you for coming. Take care. I'll see you later, hopefully. But with a different name. It feels so weird to be pronouncing that. I miss my chance to wreck. Good. I don't want you to clip me saying that type of stuff, even though I know for a fact that I'm so sorry, puppy waifus. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault he's named like that. Rack and ruin. Cal swore under his breath. He removed his cap to tuck it into the top of his breeches. They stood outside Parking's livery, the stable doors thrown wide, and Viv experienced a momentary twist of uneasiness. Don't know much about roofing? He said as he peered up at the hole. But you can figure it out? Mm-hmm, he replied, in what Viv was coming to understand was an affirmative. He walked slowly around the interior, kicking at the stall panels, stomping on the flagstones. Viv tensed up when he walked over the one above the scullered stone. He peered back at her. How many are you planning to hire? You have someone you like to work with? I'm not opposed. Other than that, I'm a ready pair of hands. And I don't tire easy. She held them up in demonstration. It's not a livery I'm wanting, though. No? Ever heard of coffee? He shook his head. Well, I need a restaurant, I guess, for drinks. Oh, she went to her satchel and withdrew a set of sketches and notes. Suddenly, she was unaccountably nervous. Viv had never cared much for the judgment of others. It was pretty easy to ignore it when you had 3 feet and 6 stone on most of the folks you encountered. Now, though, she worried that this small man would think of her a fool. Cal was waiting for her to continue. She found herself rambling. I came across it in Azimuth. The nomicity out in the East Territory was there for well, it doesn't matter what I was there for, but I smelled it first, and I came across this shop, and they made, well, it's like tea, but not like tea. It smells like... She stopped. And it doesn't matter what it smells like. I can't describe it anyway. At any rate, imagine I'm opening a tavern, but with no taps, no kegs, no beer. Just tables, a counter, some room in the back here. I did some sketches of the place I just saw. She thrust the papers at him and felt color rising in her cheeks. Ridiculous. He took the pages and examined them, paying careful attention to each, as though he were committing every line to memory. After several agonizing minutes, he returned them. Those your sketches? Not bad. If anything, she flushed hotter. And you're planning to stay here too? He cocked a thumb at the loft. Seems that suited. Yes. He put his hand on his hip and stared into the bay where the stall stood. She'd half expected him to turn on his heel and leave, but now she was beginning to think she might have chosen just right. So, he walked around the space again. Seems you could keep the stalls. Cut them down some, tear out the doors, box it in along the walls for benches. Take some long planks, send them up on a trestle in between. Then you got yourself some booth and table here along the sides. Tear down that wall into the office. The counter might do. Need to check for rot. Have you seen that clip of the guy touching a spider with his finger, then grabs him and lifts the guy? No, I haven't. I haven't. I just curb stomped a fighter. Not gonna lie, I almost lost that fight. Don't kill spiders, guys. They're useful. He kicked at the splintered wood from the ladder and raised his eyebrows at her. Gonna need a new ladder, couple bags of nails, wet wash, paint, clay tiles, some river stones, bags of lime. Might want a few more windows in the place, and a lot of lumber. So you'll do it? He gave her another one of his long speculative looks. What do you say? I do things when it seems wiser not to. Well, if you're helping, I guess so. Give me some of that parchment and a stylus if you've got it. We're going to need a list, a long list. Tomorrow we can see about getting the orders filled and how much flatter we can make that purse of yours. For the first time since she'd met him, he offered a thin little smile. Not gonna ask how much it will cost. Do you figure you even know yet? Don't suppose I do. Well then. We've dragged an old tack crate away from the wall, blew away the dust, and handed him a stylus. They bent over the parchment together as Carl started writing. Carl left in the late afternoon to complete his work on the dinghy, promising to return in the morning. Viv tucked away the materials list and then stood in the hush of delivery, where the low noise outside seemed hardly to intrude. She looked out the doors and across to Laney's porch, but found it empty. She suddenly felt very alone, which was odd. Viv had spent plenty of time with no company to speak of, long treks, lonely campgrounds, cold tents, dripping caves. But in the city, she was almost never alone. One of her crew would have been with her. Now in this city, filled with people of all races and backgrounds, the solitude was terrible. She knew 3 people by name. None of them were really more than an acquaintance, although Lainey seemed friendly at least, and Cal was strangely calming to be around. Do you have a crush on the hub? Do you have a crush on the hub, Vib? You look like it. She locked up and headed toward the main thoroughfare, pointedly away from the Robin alley. You feel you need company? Well, fine, here we are. New place, new home, for good this time. Viv found the brightest, loudest establishment she could, a restaurant and pub that seemed to do good business, with no staggering drunks in the street out front and no puddles of piss to step over. She ducked under the lintel and entered, and there was a momentary drop in the conversational volume. But Thune was pretty cosmopolitan, and orgs weren't unknown, just a little unusual. The noise picked right back up. She took a deep breath and tried to relax her face into a non-threatening expression, something she'd been practicing. Not hauling a greatsword around and wearing plain clothes hopefully added to the effect. There was a long, clean bar top, sparsely populated, and a mirror on the wall behind. Lanterns blazed throughout the dining area. It wasn't cold enough for a fire, but the room was still cheerfully lit. The tables were mostly occupied. Viv drew up a stool at the bar top, and she tried not to fidget. She felt awkward. So many people, so close, and for the first time, she wasn't just passing through. It suddenly seemed that any faux pas or stumble here might follow and shame her forever before she'd even properly settled down, irrational though the thought was. A moon-faced man approached, red cheeks, his ears just a touch pointed. Probably a little elf in him, though his girth hinted at a very human metabolism. "Evening, ma'am," he said and slid a chalk slate menu in front of her. "Eating or drinking?" "Eating," she smiled, trying not to bare her lower fangs too much. His expression didn't change a whit. Rapping a knuckle on the slate, he said, "The pork's good. I'll let you think on it," and breezed away. When he returned minutes later, she ordered the pork, and while she waited for her meal, she gazed around, musing. She hadn't dared to think this far ahead before, except in a very abstract way, but with Cal signed up, she allowed herself to dream on it a little. The cafe she'd visited in Azimuth had been the very definition of gnomish architecture. Precisely fitted wall tiles, geometric shapes, and pavers arranged in intricate interlocking patterns. The furniture had, of course, been gnomish in scale as well. She'd had to stand. She'd known her place would be different, but now she tried to make that real in her head. She looked at the decorations inside the pub. Here, an oil painting in an old gilt frame. There, a huge ceramic vase on the floor with fresh ferns to sweeten the air. A simple chandelier with three fat candles, clearly changed regularly with no sloppy wax threads. Viv began to imagine her own place, brighter, she thought, with that tall barn ceiling, some light coming in from high windows. She could see what Cal had meant about the booths as well, but maybe another long table down the middle with benches, a kind of community seating. Viv saw it with the big stable doors thrown wide, perhaps a few tables there in the entry to catch the breeze and the sun. The flagstones polished, clean, whitewashed walls. Her thoughts were interrupted by the arrival of her meal, the rich smell of it reaching her first. She discovered that she was ravenous. Before you go, she said, I wanted to ask, is this your place? The half elf blinked and smiled a little wider than his regular professional pleasantness. Sure is, 4 years now. If you don't mind me asking, how'd you get started? He leaned on the bar top. Well, it's not a family business, if that's what you're asking. And my first place sure wasn't here on the high street. He chuckled at that. And was business slow at first? Or did they come all at once? She waved at the room. Oh my, slow. Very slow. Fair to say I lost more money than I could afford to. And then I lost some more. But these days I lose just enough to get by. Double stuff for you. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good. And Fernando, welcome. Thank you for joining as well. Hope you're doing good. You planning to open a pump around here? Can say I advise it. He winked at her, clearly joking. Not exactly, but maybe something like it. He seemed surprised but recovered swiftly. Well, best of luck to you, ma'am. He spoke behind his hand in a stage whisper. I'll thank you not to take my customers, though. Here? Not much chance of that, I don't think. Well, that's all right then. Eat up now, or it will get cold. Viv quietly ate her meal and didn't speak to anyone else. Her mood was meditative as she left the pub. She found a chandler's shop still open, bought a lantern, and returned to the livery. There, she lay awake, staring into its flame. The visions of what might someday be were far from the cold and derelict place where she bedded down. Tomorrow, though, the real work would begin. I'm getting tongue-tied. I'm starting to get tongue-tied. I am, and I'm out of water. That's great. So sad. What do you mean interesting? Maybe take a break. We're gonna take a short break indeed. I've read 2 whole chapters. 2 whole chapters. Sally sold cheese sales. Is that a tongue twister? It's not a hard one. It's not a hard one. Laying back in my chair for a second before I get up and grab some water because I need to be hydrated for a second. Whew. Keyboard ASMR. She sells seashell by the seashore. The shells she sells are seashell, I'm sure. So if she sells seashell on the seashore, then I'm sure she sells seashore shells. I'm actually amazed I managed to do that. How did I do that? I don't even know how I did that. Soupy, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good today. I don't even know how I did that. I thank you for the claps. Thank you, thank you for the applaud. I don't know how I did it. Really, that was really random. Kingman, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good today. Um, I'm gonna leave you guys with the jazzy music for a moment. Thank you for checking in, Kingman. I'm gonna leave you guys with the jazzy music for a moment, just so I can grab water, have a little quote unquote break, water break, and I'll be right back. Wanted to warn you about a griefer. What's their name? Thank you, Kingman. I really appreciate that. What's their name? It was attacking some people, Poet Lulu and Rixie, as far as I know. Uh, he went by Sam. Oh, he came by. He came by. But I'm really good at um playing dumb. He was wanting me to say something. He was wanting me to say something in particular. Rixie roasted him fast, to be honest. Honestly deserved. Thank you, Kingman. Have a good night too. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for the bye, Kingman. Thank you. Honestly, deserved. Rixie did right. Yeah, I think it was the person, or should I say kid? It's probably a kid. It's always kids that do that. Sometimes, it is what it is. Sometimes, I feel like some people don't use their brains. I feel like some people are smooth brained when they try to do that type of stuff. I tend to answer with stupidity. Not you, smooth brain. Not you, smooth brain. You're a good smooth brain. I'm a pretty smart person, not gonna lie. But you would also, you would, you work for lodging and food, Drews. And I'm not going to go back on this conversation. Nel Oshi. Hello, 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 welcome. We're still waiting on Nell debut. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for liking the stream, by the way. We're waiting for Nell debut. I hope the internet can be fixed for Nell. The internet problems are like really bad. Same. I'm looking forward her debut. Like I'm really curious about what she's gonna do too. She's probably going to sing because she sings well. You have no idea of what I mean. I'm sure you do know what I mean. I'm sure you know what I mean. Okay. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some water. Let me try to make a normal face. Yeah, yeah. She's drawn a lot for us. I love the Kirby. I loved the Kirby. It was very cute. I'll be right back. Not this face. That's better. Alright, she's gone, Riot. No, no, Riot. No, Riot. No, I'm gone. Dun, dun, dun. I'm back. Overthrow the pointy-eared dictator. Am I a dictator? No, I don't think so. I was asking earlier if there were like any type of content that would make you guys happy for me to make, because I'd like to know like if there's something you would want me to do. Um, I think the ASMR was long awaited, and next week we're going to be able to do some ASMR. Sure knows with a mahogany first fist. Raccoon, welcome back. Thank you for joining again. How are you doing? And thank you for liking the stream. Remove the forest and build mega highway and malls. How dare you? How dare you even think of doing that to my forest? Imagine I become a, a mega highway forest spirit, a mega highway spirit. VR chat full body tracking backflip. I don't think I could do a backflip, but I can do a few stuff. I'm quite flexible. That's the cool thing about me, is that I'm flexible. But it might make the, the model itself lag. But I would love to do something on VR chat. Not yet though, because I still have to buy a VR headset, which is really expensive here. I don't even know how Filian managed to buy like multiple, and after breaking multiple, to be fair. But VR chat content I would really like to do. I should grab one at some point. A VR headset, yes. That would be fun to do a meet and greet on VR chat. Mega highway spirit blessing us with the congested traffic on our commute to work. Absolutely. There's no rush hour with me. She has a fansly, that's why. Wait, wait, really? Yeah, there's no. I gotta watch a video compiling the amount of items she's broken in the sum. I think yes. I think you should calculate it. But I really like overall I really like Filian's projects. Like she managed to make huge projects come to life, and that's really inspiring. I wish I can do that one day. Thank you for the hi, Snowy. Welcome. Thank you for joining and liking the stream. How are you doing? Oh, Snowy or Snow? I read it Snowy. My brain read the seven as a Y. Snowy. Okay, so I did it right. Good. We're taking a little break from reading because I'm getting tongue twisted. Mm, I mean, she is quite a character, and I think she has like a lot of charisma and humor, but it's not for everyone. Her audience, I believe, is a little bit younger. Probably the poggers? Question mark. but but yes, I do enjoy watching her streams from time to time. Galaxy Nova, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good. Frogs. I don't know if you guys could hear it like in the background, but there's like a pond close by, and I can hear the frogs yelling at some point. But I really like it. I like the ambience. But it's a little bit early in the morning for the frogs to be yelling. Usually they start yelling at night. Hmm. I thought of frogs, and then I was like, should I have a pet frog? But it's hard to actually like take care of. Like you need to have like a specific setting. Valve Index controllers, two headset, eight VR cables, and one base station. Total is $3,350. Sheesh, that's a lot. Right after it rains, they go crazy. All right, it rained yesterday night. It rained yesterday night. That's probably why. Thank you, Galaxy Nova, for liking the stream. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you're doing good this evening. And I always wanted a pet snake. That makes me think of it because I was like, pet frogs, why not? But I always wanted a snake. I had a friend of mine that had like a royal python, and her name was Maya, and she was like very curious, and it was really nice to like interact with her. I really like snakes. They're very soft. They're not slimy as people think. They're actually super soft, and they're a little bit cold to the touch, but it's not like uncomfortable because cold-blooded animals. Reptiles are fascinating in my opinion. I also have a turtle, or tortoise, that I really like as well. But she's mostly like outside. I let her do her thing. She buries herself in the winter, and then she comes out. A whole menagerie. I love animals. I really like animals. I think they're super cool to interact with. Like it's they're the purest beings you can find. They act on instinct. Yeah, turtles are super cool, and they're very cute. They're super cute. I really like turtles, but also like the big one skin. I'm starting to think you might actually be a forest spirit. Well, why would I lie about that, Red? Why would I lie about that? I'm maybe less of a traditional forest spirit, but I'm definitely a forest spirit. I mean, I'm the type to pick up rocks if I find them pretty. Angie Bear, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good today. I pick up rocks and feathers when I like walk on trails sometimes because I really like. I enjoy these types of stuff, the simple things. I think they're very pretty. Feathers are super cool. And rocks are rocks, they come in different shapes and form. I also love picking up seashells when I actually go to the beach. And I wish I can go to the beach soon enough because it's been a while now. Thank you for liking the stream, Angie Bear. Anything related to nature is really cool, in my opinion. Mushrooms are dope. I'm not talking about like doing mushrooms. I'm actually talking about like fungi in general. I don't do mushrooms. I don't do shrooms, guys. I swear. If I had the possibility, I think I would like to have an owl. They're adorable creatures. Beaches at night are where it's at. Odette? No, I wouldn't dare to tame Odette. She's a free owl. She needs to do her work as a postman. We need Odette to do her job. And I need Odette to keep doing the ASMR. She's relaxing. And she has a very cute voice. I wish I had that type of voice. But no, I was born with a deeper type of voice. So yeah. I guess my tone of voice is like in between the in between the high pitched and the mummy. But Neither of them. Your voice is cute. Thank you, Red. I'm glad you like it. Um, I've said this like multiple times, but I always thought that my voice was not girly enough for some reason. Even though like I can get like a very high pitched girly type of voice. Um, my resting voice, which is this one right here. What the frick is not girly? Okay, I'll tell you one thing. I used to play Overwatch a while ago. I don't like it anymore. I'm actually, when it comes to video games, I try to like steer away from competition because I get extremely salty, and I mean extremely salty. Um, but when I used to talk in voice chat, the guys mostly like tended to ask if I was like an underage boy. Good night, 1TT7. Take care. Thank you so much for your gift once again. Sleep well. Uh-oh, face toxic. No, I swear I calmed down, but I can tell you a story about that. Um when I was like a teenager spirit, I I used to play League of Legends. I stopped playing League of Legends, but I used to play League of Legends, and one day I think my computer was like dying because I was like at I was like running at like 5 FPS. um 5 frame per second was insanely laggy. Viskov, welcome, thank you for joining, hope you're doing good. And I kind of freaked out. You know, the teenager hormones, you know what they do to you. I kind of freaked out. I punched my computer, it blue screened, and then I threw it out the window. I actually threw it out the window. And I feel super bad about doing that. I feel super bad about doing that. I was like, I look back on it. True gamer moment. Yeah, I guess it's a true gamer moment. But I actually feel bad about doing that, and I would never do it again. When I look back on it, I was like, that was the most stupid move you could have done, Faelie. And now I bought my own computer. First of all, it's too heavy for me to lift, so I will never throw it out the window. And also, it's my baby and I paid for it and it was expensive, so I'm never doing that again. But yeah, I actually threw a whole computer out the window. It was a while ago though. Please don't judge me too hard for this one. I feel really, really bad. I feel really, really bad about it. But yeah, when I say I was really salty, I mean it. I would freak out. I think I had a lot of like a pent up anger back then when I was a teenager. So I used to like let it flow out on video games because I would never get angry. When I was like when people made me angry, I would never get angry. And I don't know if you guys like have this thing, release the rage. Absolutely. Um I I don't know how to get angry properly. Instead of getting angry, I cry. And that's very annoying. I wish I could get angry like normal people, quote unquote normal people. But no, I just cry when I get angry, and I'm unable to deal with it properly. Well, honestly, I'm the same. I'm glad you relate to that, Puffy Waifus. I'm glad I'm not alone. I'm not gonna lie, that's cute. What do you mean? What do you mean, Jules? Salient, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good. But um I would like to be able to like express anger in a healthy manner, because I know that when you cry, it's a sign that you repress your anger. And And being violent is not a solution either. I'm not someone that tends to be violent. I don't know how. With the many years I've played League of Legends, I've never been banned with the amount of flaming I used to do. And I mean really bad flaming, really bad flaming. Couple of Counter Strike matches will fix that problem. I'm really bad at FPS. I'm really bad at FPS game. I really wish I was better at shooters, but for some reason I am unable to fix my aim. My aim is always bad. Fluffy Otaku, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good today. Just cheat everyone in CS does. Like aimbot, but that's not cool. Even the pros cheat? No, there's no way. There's no way. Rage rooms or stress balls. I would love to get into a rage room at some point. You see, I used to be a Urgot main, and I just used the anger to. You used to play Urgot? That's crazy. I was mostly a Tristana main back then. Tristana, Jinx, and when I played support, I would play Sona in a very aggressive way. 200k mastery. Wow, wow, germs. Wow. Um, Sona and I guess Soraka, and who else did I play? It's been so long that I forgot. I forgot. I would love to play Lux mid too. I played Dota 2 instead of League, but only with friends. Is Dota better than League? I'm guessing like the community might be a bit less salty than League. League was extremely toxic. I think playing League turns you into someone very toxic in games. I used to meet Skarner, Argot, and Rakan. Ooh, pretty cool. Pretty cool characters, honestly. Dota is sometimes worse. Oh, never mind then. My bad, my bad. But I'm out of it. I would really like to pick up League of Legends again because it's a game I actually enjoy. Minus the community, I really like these types of games because they actually require skill. There's always Smite. Yes, but Smite is different because it's like third person view, but it's closer. It's almost like you are your character. Aliska, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good. So yeah, League of Legends used to be one of my favorite games, but I want to pick it up in a more casual way now. If I do pick it back up, it will be very casual, and I don't think I will stream them. I don't think I will stream during during my games because yeah, solo Dota is a hell I wouldn't wish upon my horse. Okay, okay. I guess I'm not picking Dota. I guess I'm not picking up Dota. Did you watch the show? Arcane? Absolutely. I was very, very happy. It's extremely well written. I really enjoyed it. The visuals were made by Fortiche Studio, Fortiche being a French studio, and I was like, yay, that's so cool. Now y'all add me on League. My name is Jerks. Oh shoot. We need to not play League of Legends. I don't want to get salty again. That's why I want to play in very casual, like in a very casual setting, because I do not want to get salty again. Trying to find my Xayah to my Rakan. Funny thing is, I used to play Xayah when she came out, and Kalista too was very funny back then. Okay, we have 15 minutes left. Should I keep reading, or do you guys want to keep chatting with me about my experiences as a teenager and how much of a rager I was? Because oh god, I was extremely angry back then. Both. Both. Can I do both? More gamer stories. I want to hear more violent face stories. Okay, so I didn't mention playing Brawlhalla, right? Um, Not that the book isn't cool. No, it's fine. Don't worry. um, you're right, Banashi. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good. I used to play Brawlhalla, and I still play it in a casual, like in a casual setting. I'm starting to get back onto it because I really want to get back onto my level. I was very good back then. Kind of my and on Brawlhalla, like, on Brawlhalla, I was like, my friends would call me the hair of salt because there wasn't one match where I wouldn't spew profanities every 2 seconds, even if I was winning. And sometimes I was like so mad that I would not pick up a weapon and just fight with my bare hands. I would use my character barehanded because it was that petty. I broke a keyboard during one of the events. There's no way. Honestly, breaking a keyboard never happened to me, but I broke a whole computer. Pugilist fate. Yeah, I was like, I was extremely petty in video games. Even in Overwatch, I was extremely petty. I was a Junkrat main. But honestly, I love Junkrat. I was fighting an Oreo man. Orion is so. I almost used my yeah, to agree to that. Absolutely, it's exactly what happens. Orion is like the epitome of spamming. The epitome of spamming. The Lance, absolutely, absolutely. Playing Lance, playing Lance with an Orion is absolutely horrible, but it's fine. It's fine. Um, I recently tried one of the newest characters, Arcadia, and I really like her. I never played Great Sword before, and honestly, the amount of damage this character does is like crazy. Man, it wasn't even comboing me, just spamming. Oh, that's so annoying. And then you have to break the pattern when that happens. And I used to be so mad at the spammers too. I would drop my weapon at them and just fight them barehanded again. Rayman is cool, but he's extremely annoying to play against. But yeah, Brawlhalla is a thing I played a lot. All of these fighting games, I'm gonna tell you right now, I enjoy fighting games, but there's one thing. It recently happened to me because like I got a little bit too serious. First of all, either when I play Smash, or Brawlhalla, because they're very similar in their mechanics, I stop blinking. I do not blink during matches. So when I'm done with my games after like a good 1 or 2 hours, my eyes are bloodshot red. My eyes are literally bloodshot red. And recently I got too intense, too serious. So my eyes were bloodshot red, and I felt like I was about to have a heart attack because I was filled with adrenaline. That's what fighting games do to me. That's why I stopped playing them at some point, because I would go insane. Um, I used to mention I was really good at Smash. I used to fight against like tournament players, and I used to win against tournament players. My issue is that with that is if I lost, I would rage quit. I would leave the room. I would physically leave the room because I got to a point where I was that good. If my friends wanted to fight against me, um, if they had the like, usually I would do two versus one or three versus one. If they managed to beat me, I would physically leave the room. I was that insane with these games. You should play 400. I never picked up 400. Who did you main in Smash? I used to play Inkling a lot. And there's like this yellow vest Inkling that I used to pick, and I would always say gilet jaune, because it was a meme in France when there were like strikes. People were going on strikes and wearing this yellow vest. and blocking traffic, etc., etc. And I would always do that. But yeah, I played Inkling. I really enjoyed playing Inkling. Um, I used to play Daisy a lot because for some reason I prefer Daisy over Peach. I think she's cooler. She's more of a tomboy, sure, but I think she's cooler. um, who else did I play? I played Kirby. I actually play Kirby, and I used to. People were like, "Yeah, Kirby's trash. Kirby's trash." And anytime I heard someone say Kirby is trash, I would play Kirby. And if someone put me in a difficult situation, my technique is playing with it trainer. It's it, it just puts people in a weird spot, and they're really disturbed when you play with a trainer in front of them. And I would always win with a trainer. With a trainer was very funny to play. Mewtwo and Steve is fun. Mewtwo is fun. Steve I never got because I don't play DLC characters. I feel like in tournaments DLC characters should be banned because like they're additional payment for a game you already paid for. To me, it doesn't make sense. Like they're add-on characters. They're not actual characters from the game. So maybe an unpopular opinion, but to me, except for Piranha Plant, yes, except for Piranha Plant, Piranha Plant was like free. But yeah, for the DLC characters, I feel like they should be banned in tournaments because like a lot of people play Joker, from what I've understood, and apparently Joker is terrible to play against. I only play it until Brawl. Is Kirby bad now? I mean, Ness is super good. Ness is still super good. Kirby was people would call Kirby trash, but to me, Kirby is one of the best characters. He's fun to play. You just need to know how to play him. But I don't want to. I don't want to pick up Smash again because I'm gonna go insane. But then again, if I want to play against Isila, I need to pick it back out. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll just like start picking up Street Fighter, but I need to buy a controller. I'm probably going to buy a gamepad to play with a gamepad. Um, I'm the type of person that prefers playing with keyboard and mouse. I feel like I'm more reactive with it, but a controller wouldn't hurt. I think. What else? In what games did I used to rage? Isola versus Faelie fighting him would be something to look forward to. Yes, but I do need some training. I do need to pick it up. I don't want her to absolutely annihilate me. You know, I want I want to pick up a good fight. I want her to have a little bit of fun and not just bully me. Or else, what's the purpose? You know, what's the purpose? Sorry about that. I'm choking. Um, I'm trying to think of other games I used to rage on. Should I open up my Steam library? Oh, I actually rage quitted an MMORPG after having an argument with one of my friends when I used to have a guild and I was the guild master. So I never came back onto that MMORPG. I had to go on hiatus because of classes. So I gave the guildmaster role to my friend, and they did something dirty to me. They did something behind my back that I did not like. Especially since I came back, I said hi to the new guild members, and they utterly disrespected me. And he was defending them, and I was like, bro, no. No, I want nice people in my guild, not people that like completely disregard the other members when they say hello, you know. We should all play Guild Wars 2. We should all play Warframe. I really want to play Warframe, I'm not gonna lie. Lily, welcome back. Hope you're still doing good. And Lil Moon, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good. But yeah, I really want to pick Warframe up. That would be fun to play, I think. Just need the time to actually, download it. I still have to plug in my computer to the router because it's not plugged in into the router. Warframe is pretty sweet. I've heard a lot of good feedback from Warframe, and that's why I kind of want to try it out. There is so much waiting, as in you gotta wait for stuff, for quests, for. I will invite you all to my guild. I'm gonna ruin your your guild ranking, Germs. I don't think that's a good idea. You build things like frames and weapons, yeah. And I'm guessing like there's like a timer for that, for it to be built, like in a lot of games. Yeah. Oh, like it's actual time. Become a hell diver. I actually want to try hell diver, but I think I'm gonna be squeaking a lot. Big bugs. I can support you with all the frames and weapons for real for you. Do you have enough stuff to like equip 30 people? Like a complete frames take 4 days. 4 days. 4 days, Red. 4 days to complete. Damn. About 3 days. What if you pay? Oh. I said, what if you pay? And then I paused for a second and I was like, no, Faelie, we're not doing this again. I am a compulsive buyer in video games. That's why I stopped playing gacha. I will give you the perfect example of why I stopped playing Genshin Impact. I spent, mark my words, $200 to get Venti, $300 to get Hutao. That's why I will stop playing gacha games. Never again. I needed to save money, okay? Yes, you can send the eyes to me, Pocky Waifus. I deserve those. I don't know. I don't. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. I'm just gonna make myself happy with a little character. Instant regret. And it's very time consuming, but you can always progress the story either way. 12 hours for parts. Sheesh. I'm guessing you still level up. I appreciate that, Germs. Thank you. The thing is that the time building is all passive. Whaling life. Yeah. I used to be a whale. I used to be a whale on Genshin and other stuff. I'm not going to get into details, but one day I helped out someone in an event. That's when I had like a stable job. And I spent $800 on this person. I'm never doing it again. No, actually. No, yeah. 800. Yeah, 800. Yeah. I'm never doing that again. I get a little bit too intense with people I really like. Giving is one of my love languages. So if I'm close to a friend, I will get them gifts because it makes me very happy to offer gifts that they like or stuff that they want. I will on cosmetics for Azulane and GFL. I can't judge, to be honest. Yo, give me 800. I don't have that kind of money anymore because like I quit my job. It's one of the jobs I mentioned. Like I had to disguise myself to cover my elf ears, and I was working like for a city hall in the passport and identity card department. So I had a stable income. It's not the case anymore, especially because like interacting with a lot of people on a day to day basis is actually extremely tiring and mentally draining. And I have 2% battery. Jesus. I wish to be able to have a stable income from VTubing. Because I really like it. I really like it. Either that or doing commissions. I hope you're looking forward my summer outfit because so far the liner is looking super good. Yeah, I have 2%, and I'm technically supposed to end the live because like I've been here for 2 hours. My phone can barely handle 2 hours, which I guess is good, but also kind of annoying because I cannot like stay for longer. I have 1%. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We did not finish the story, but I can always pick it up later. Thank you so much for joining. Please take care of yourself. Have a great sleep, and I'll see you no, not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. Mwah, mwah. Bye bye, guys. Thank you for the thanks, Petit. Bye bye.